Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, on the weekend you typically have a little bit less volume. Therefore, the market is always a little bit less predictable, moves a little bit in less predictable ways. And Bitcoin has hardly moved for the last 24 hours. Yeah, we had a bit of up and down here. We came down all the way down to 35.2K. And with that, it has pretty much reached the 300% Fibonacci extension, which is a normal or usual target for a wave 5. Cryptos do that. However, it had a strong rejection and it is back in this channel. Technically, it's not a bearish flag. A bearish flag would actually go up. It would be an ascending channel, which would then suggest a downtrend. This is technically not a bear flag, but it still is a consolidation. What you could argue in this case is that the downtrend is just slowing down and that Bitcoin might try to break out to the upside of this channel here and will then finally get and do that larger reversal here that I talked about in this second wave, wave 2. That is just what I have to expect, because it can all be counted here as a 5-wave move down, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as part of a larger wave 1. And as per the Elliott Wave rules, the next wave that we would expect is a wave 2 that would be consisting in the most simple form of an A, B, C. It oftentimes isn't that simple. As you can see here, we also had waves within waves. We have here a channel, yeah, or a so-called actually Elliott Wave triangle. So yeah, this is what we're waiting for now. The thing is, bear flag, not bear flag. I had a few questions about that. Is it a bear flag? Bitcoin has done these things before, and but you know they are pretty much random. But one example where we had something similar, where we came down, we just slowed down the downtrend. You in the end moved up here. But finding one example where we're actually moving down like that, I think there was one 2020 that also broke to the upside. But typically, a bear flag would, just looking if I find one, but here as well, yeah, you came down. You can see actually what happened. You came down. This is a bear flag where you moved up. Then you came down and you actually moved down. You consolidated down, and this was sort of the end, at least here in this local scenario, the end of that downtrend. We then moved higher here and we made it from 41.6 to 44.8. So that's actually what and I would need to double check. This could have also been a wave 1, 2. But anyway, very similar to what we have here now. You move down, and what we're waiting for is a corrective wave up before we enter another move down. Yeah. So this is pretty much what we wait for here now as well. If I go back to where we currently actually are, there you go. So we're waiting for that completion of that wave 1 here. And we've already moved down quite a lot in that wave 1. Personally, I think what is certainly possible, and I wouldn't rule it out, is that Bitcoin reaches that 34.4K level here, that support level. Wouldn't rule it out. This is, if I zoom out here, key support level where we had support on the 24th of February, a very, very clear touch point. And I wouldn't rule out that we actually hit that before we move up. The reason I say that, by then we would still have not reached the 3.618 Fibonacci extension for the wave 5. So that is still in the scope of what a wave 5 can do. But the reason I say that is if I go to the, some people ask for the mid video techno, here on the daily, we are not yet oversold. So we are on the level 36 on the daily, or yeah, the rating of the RSI is at 36. To count as oversold, you actually need to go to 30. So there is generally a little bit of more space to move down lower. It doesn't need to do it, but the lower we get here, the higher the probability that we will move that corrective move up. And obviously the 34.4K level is a very, very clear support level. And then MACD, however, is also still pointing down. So also here we cannot yet see a recovery on the daily, and here on that momentum indicator down here, we still have that short signal. We had that short signal already on the 6th of April, and you can see how spot on that was actually here on the ADX and DI. great indicator, because in that period, from when we got that short signal, we moved down from 45 all the way down to 35k. It's pretty good. On the other hand, also here you had the MACD crossover starting bearish, and they are very relevant on the daily. But you can see also here on the MACD, we already reduced negative momentum, so get a bit of conflicting messages, whereas the momentum indicator here has remained very, very consistent and bearish throughout. Looking at the 4-hour chart, which is also very relevant here. In this case also, yes, we are starting to reduce negative momentum. No surprise, because we are in this sort of channel at the moment, and we're reducing down the speed of the downtrend. Here, Bitcoin is oversold, but just moving sideways. The momentum indicator here still shows, though, the short signal at the moment. So overall, the signals from the bulls are still very weak, and at the moment we are in a range, and the market first needs to break out here of this channel for us to determine where the price will go next. Probability is very high for a move into this wave 2 target area between 42 and 46k, where the price could then find a reversal and move down into the overall target area, which is between 20 and 29k. Why is that area? Well, I explained it in the last few videos in very much detail, so check those out. But it's all based on the Elliott Wave count and also certain support levels and indicators like the 61.8% Fibonacci level and the 200-week moving average that are all in this area here. So at the moment, this is what you could call a bear flag, a huge trend down, yeah, and then a consolidation to the upside, and then normally a continuation to the downside, which we might have started already, but normally you get another recovery move up before we then come down. That is my view. Everybody now, because the sentiment has shifted very negative again, yeah. Always interesting to see that the sentiment has shifted very, very negative, and when the sentiment is shifting towards negative, oftentimes prices do go up, yeah. Another example though for such a descending channel, I mean, this is a completely different example here, but you had something similar here. That was actually nearly a wedge, but also here we moved down after a strong downtrend, and then we had that move up. Now here, of course, this was a much stronger move on a much bigger scale, but we have something similar here now, obviously in small, with this small move down, and therefore we can expect that corrective move up before we actually in the end come down. And that's pretty much what I can tell you at the moment about Bitcoin. Will be an interesting weekend, certainly, because we see some volatility in the market at the moment, and it might be a couple of quiet days, but still it's getting very interesting now, and I think we are going to see here a reversal at some point, but I wouldn't rule out that we now in the current scenario, because we dropped out of this channel to the downside here, that larger channel, that we actually touch that 34.4k level before we move up. Going through straight away, possible, but if we go through 34.4, we're going to reach the 33k low from January, and then we pretty much, yeah, could, even if we lose that could be some kind of a capitulation when we can get into that yellow target area. But as I said in the last video, around 32.5, 33k, very, very, very important support. Not only because we touched it already here back in January, no, it is also the low of the logarithmic growth curve, so there will be a lot of support in that area, I can tell you that. Okay, but overall, yeah, we need to wait now for the next moves for Bitcoin, and it is in this smaller channel. We need to wait for that breakout out of the channel. Short term, I can also give you here the breakout points, yeah. So to the downside, target would be 34.4. To the upside, next target would be 36.6. But within the channel, a breakout point, if that happens, let's say today, would be above 36k to move to the upside, and to the downside would be around 35.4. So you can see how squeezed the price already is. Okay, so hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership and maybe even the trading course I'm currently publishing on the website. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.